The Effects of Social Media on Middle School Students' Behavior, presented by Jody Howe, Northwestern State University, for a Master of Education. Chapter 1, Introduction. Social media is a form of communication among individuals with Internet access, which allows people to share pictures, stories, thoughts, and feelings. Social media can be accessed from computers, tablets, smartphones, and other technology devices with Internet access. It can have an impact on adolescents' behavior. Statement of the problem. There's a lack of knowledge of the effects of social media on middle school students' behavior. This study will investigate the effects of social media on middle school students' behavior. Purpose of the study. The purpose of this study is to determine the effects of social media on middle school students' behavior in a public school setting. Research questions. How does social media affect middle school students' behavior? And how does social media affect middle school students' behavior in a public school setting? Significance of the study. The results of this study will bring awareness to school administration and teachers of the behaviors that may stem from adolescent social media use. It will also help teachers to educate and provide students with preventions and interventions from the negative behaviors of social media, and also to help them become better digital citizens. Assumptions of the study. The first assumption of the study is that middle school students participate in social media. The second is that the participants have experienced or witnessed negative behaviors stemming from social media use. Limitations of the study. One limitation of the study is that there may be lack of participation in social media use by the middle school students. Students may not have electronic devices, or their parents may not allow them to use social media. A second limitation of the study is the level of honesty from students. The students may lack honesty when explaining the reason for their behavior or how many hours they use social media. A third limitation of this study is the focus on student behavior from the teacher. Delimitations of the study. The researcher is an intern at a middle school. Also, the sample is easily accessible. Another delimitation of the study is it is free from possible ethical dilemmas. There are no parent consent forms that need to be signed with this study. Definition of terms. Adolescence. Adolescence is defined as the stage of development from puberty to maturity. Middle school. Middle school is defined as school grades 5 or 6 to 8. Social media. Social media is defined as electronic communication, such as websites for social networking sites that allow users to share pictures, videos, information, personal messages, and thoughts or feelings through online communities. Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature. Social media and adolescence. Social media plays an important role in adolescent communication. Adolescents can spend more than 2 hours daily communicating on social media. According to Lee, Snow, and White, urban teens primarily and almost exclusively use social media and technology devices daily for peer socializing. Not all social media is designed for adolescents. Online self-disclosure can expose the adolescent to predators, peer victimization, and bullying. Social media and adolescence in the school setting. Social media can affect middle school students in their daily school lives. A study by Weinstein found that negative social media experiences were related to students having negative post-browsing effects. Students using social media can experience peer victimization or bully other peers. Research by Chapin found that middle school students have experienced cyberbullying. It also showed that students have been harassed, demeaned, or belittled by other peers at school from issues stemming from social networking sites, which is a form of social media. Social media affects students' behavior in many ways. Too much use of social networking sites can lead to a decrease in real-life social participation and academic achievement, according to a study by Mina, Middle, and Solansky. A study by Espinoza and Giovannin shows that middle school students using social media excessively may be tired or fatigued in class. Middle school students utilizing social media can experience digital self-harm. This type of behavior can lead to suicidal ideation and self-harm. Chapter 3. Methodology. Research design. This study used qualitative research for the investigation. The instrument for this study was a survey in the form of a structured questionnaire, which was developed by the researcher using the secure site SurveyMonkey. 10 structured items were used that used an attitude scale. The questionnaire was used to assess the teacher's perception of the effects of social media on middle school students' behavior. The participants were also anonymous. The data collected from the questionnaire describes if there's a cause and effect relationship between social media and middle school students' behavior in a public school setting. Sampling. The sampling for this study was selected using purposive, non-random sampling. The researcher used 10 of the 15 faculty members at Northwestern State University Middle Laboratory School, located in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Data collection and review. Data were collected from the participants using the secure site SurveyMonkey. Responses were recorded, but the names were withheld. The data was analyzed using Microsoft Excel in a table format. The researcher obtained written permission from the principal. The researcher also completed an exempt institution review board form application and earned a human subject certificate by completing an online National Institutes of Health training course. The data would be stored in a locked filing cabinet only accessible to the researcher. The participants from this study were not exposed to any risk, and there was no deception involved in the study. Chapter 4. The Project. Overview. The teacher in service. The teacher in service will provide teachers with the definition and examples of social media and describe the effects social media has on middle school students' behavior. It will provide an awareness to the teachers and administration of the student behaviors that may stem from social media. The teacher in service will also describe strategies teachers can model in their classroom to help the students be better digital citizens. It will also educate teachers on how to help students handle the negative effects of social media. The PowerPoint presentation will be broken into 11 slides, which will define social media and describe how it relates to middle school students' negative behaviors. Goals. The first goal of the teacher in service is to bring awareness to teachers of the effects of social media on middle school students' behavior. The second goal is to provide teachers with strategies to help students to be better digital citizens. The final goal of the in-service is to deliver prevention and intervention steps to handling negative behaviors from social media. The topics of the teacher in service will be social media awareness, negative student behaviors that can stem from social media, and approaches that teachers can use to help students avoid negative behavior and be better digital citizens. Wrap up. The teacher in service will wrap up with an evaluation completed by the participants. Implementation. The effects of social media on middle school students' behavior teacher in service will be presented at the May faculty meeting, which will be in May 2018. In August of 2018, we will review the material and strategies covered from the May 2018 Teacher in Service with the teachers. From August 2018 to May 2019, the school calendar year, the researcher will monitor teacher lesson plans and conduct weekly walkthrough observations during computer time throughout the school year to make sure it is being implemented. Evaluation. An exit survey will be completed by the teachers who participate in the in-service during the May 2018 faculty meeting. Also, evidence of the implementation will be documented by teacher lesson plans and observed through walkthrough observations during class and computer time. Use of data. The data was collected from the questionnaire by the Secure Site SurveyMonkey. The data was analyzed and reported in table format using Microsoft Excel. The table displayed questions, teacher responses, and percentages for each question. The results showed most teachers felt social media affects student behavior. The results guided the development of the Teacher in Service. Materials. In-service presentation. Information on the effects of social media on middle school students' behavior presented to the teachers in PowerPoint form. Exit survey. A survey completed by the teachers to determine the effectiveness of the in-service. Chapter 5, Reflections and Conclusion. Project Summary. The Teacher in Service presented by a PowerPoint presentation was used, or will be used, for the May in-service. It provides definition and examples of social media for administration and teachers. It brings awareness of behaviors that may stem from social media use. The in-service also describes strategies for teachers to discuss and model for students to be safe and responsible digital citizens. The in-service will educate teachers on preventions and interventions for students to handle negative social media behaviors. Strengths. A strength is the results of the study guided the development of the in-service. Another strength is the Teacher in Service will be presented at school, which is convenient for the teachers. Limitations. There is small teaching staff at NSU Middle Lab School. Another limitation is that it's limited to the teachers who attend the in-service. Researcher's reflection. Social media use has positive and negative effects on adolescents. The researcher gained experience in collecting, organizing, and displaying data. It also educated the researcher in writing skills. Recommendations for practice and further research. The project can be presented to other schools in the parish to help teachers and administration. Further research on the effects of social media can be expanded to high school students. In conclusion, technology influences our students. Educators and administrators must be aware of this situation. Social media use can affect the behaviors of students in school settings. Administration and teachers must provide interventions and preventions to students to help prepare them for these negative behaviors. Thank you.